Hello everybody and welcome back to the EL99 coursebook. In this video we're going to be going over Unit 4. This will be part A of the 3 video series that we usually do. We're going to be talking about faraway places. In specific, for A we'll be talking about holidays. So before we start, I have a question that I'd like to ask you, and I'd like you to pause the video and discuss it in pairs if you guys are in class, and if not, just pause the video and think about it for a little bit with yourself before we move on. We have what's important for you when choosing a destination for a holiday or a day out. Pause the video, talk about it a little bit, and then come back. For me personally, there's a lot of things that are important or to take into consideration when choosing a destination for a specific holiday or when you're simply going out or arranging an outing with friends. And part of it is financial, and part of it is, are you going to have a good time? Does it align with what you believe is a good time for you specifically? Because if an outing or a holiday is fun for someone but is not fun for someone else, then I think that just defeats the whole purpose, especially if you're spending a lot of money to travel. It kind of just defeats the purpose and you're just not having a good time, you're not relaxing, you're not being rejuvenated. So all of these come into consideration. For me, I'd say financially, taking a look at where you're going to be going on holiday is a big step because you're going to have to plan or pay for things like plane tickets, hotels, depending on the kinds of hotels you want to stay at, the activities themselves that you want to do. All of these take a lot of money and they add up really quickly if you're not careful. Even something as simple as going out for a day, depending on the activities that you want to do, you could spend little money or you could spend a lot of money. So it just depends on how you navigate that part. And like I said, the other part is what you value, what you consider fun. For some people, sitting on the beach and playing cards or Uno or something is the ideal day out and having a good time. For others, that's just not their cup of tea. Other stuff like bowling, cinema, things like that, food, that's a big one, are a little bit more their cup of tea. All right, so now let's go to 4A. We have types of holidays, holiday adverts. So what I'd like you to do is, again, pause the video. This will be even better if you're in class, but if not, that's okay too. Just focus on the question here. It says, talk about where you have been on holiday and what did you do? So think of a specific holiday, something that is memorable to you. Where was it? And what are the things that you did over the span of the holiday? So talk about that and then come back so that we can move on. Okay. Now let's go to number 2. Look at the photos and quickly read the 2 holiday adverts. Let's see here. All right. Which holiday do you think is more expensive and give reasons? So I don't want you to read these just yet. What I would like you to do is just take a look at the pictures here for a second. And I want you to answer the question, which one do you think is more expensive? On first glance, what do you think? Okay, now that you have a general idea, I'd like you to pause the video for about 30 seconds, read both of these real quickly, and then give reasoning as to why you chose the picture that you chose. Okay, so I'm going to assume you did that, and I've already read both of these real quick. So my reason will be, which holiday do you think is more expensive? Give reasons. I would say there's simply more stuff to do that are luxurious. So we'll say Dubai. Where is it? Luxury Hotel Dubai. So Dubai, because it has more luxurious options. Luxurious comes from the word luxury, which means basically the best of the best things that money can offer. So things like first class tickets, seven star or 5-star hotels, things like that. Things that are probably really expensive, but also really nice to have if you're into that sort of thing. So that was 2. Now let's take a look at, actually, let me add a full stop here. All right, so this was my reasoning. Yours could be a little bit different as long as it has the same concept. It totally makes sense. All right, let's see. We have read the ad. Actually, I'm gonna let it load first. Um, Pause this. In pairs, read the adverts in more detail and complete the table. Would you like to go on these holidays? Why or why not? Okay, so now that we're diving a little bit more specific, we're going to be scanning for specific things. I'd like you to pause the video again and read each of these, but this time I'd like you to complete the table as you go. So for transport, for Cambodia, which one is it? For Dubai, which one is it? How long is the duration going to be? What is the accommodation type? Who are the staff that serve you? And what is the kind of food that you're going to be eating? So take the time you need and finish these and then come back and check your answers with me. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you now have written these down. So for Cambodia, the transportation type was a bicycle, I believe. It is a bicycle. Baba bicycle, you can see the most beautiful parts of it. So I'll say bicycle. For Dubai, the transport was it was a helicopter flight or a speedboat cruise. Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun actually. So a helicopter flight. Oh, sorry about that. I did not mean to press that. So helicopter flight or speedboat um speedboat cruise. All right, what about the duration? For the duration for Cambodia, it goes on for around 15 days. So on this 15-day holiday, so it's a 15 days. For Dubai, it's let's see. Take a week off and spend your days by the swimming pool. So this will be 1 week. What about accommodation? For Cambodia, accommodation is let's see. Traditional wooden houses are the accommodation with local families in, I'm going to write down traditional wooden houses. For Dubai, well, it is a hotel after all, so we're going to say yes, it is a hotel. So we'll say modern 5-star hotel. Awesome. What about staff? In Cambodia, the staff that are going to be serving you are actually locals, from what I remember. Yes, all the tours are guided by local men and women who you can ask about daily life in the villages. So, local men and women. For Dubai, it'll actually be chefs and waitresses or waiters, both. So our chefs and waiters are from around the world. Okay. So chefs and waiters. What about the food? In Cambodia, you get your food from let's see. Each day you go to a local market for your lunch, so you get it from the local market. That's pretty cool. Local market. And for Dubai, you get your food from where do well, they have an international menu. That's pretty cool. So, international menu. All right. So that was the differences between these were the differences between Cambodia and Dubai when it comes to transport, duration, accommodation, staff, and food. Now, another question to ask yourself and pause the video to think about this one is, would you like to go on these holidays? You could say no, by the way. If both of these are not particularly your cup of tea, then you can always say no. But give reasoning for your answer. So if you're gonna choose one, why did you choose one? And if you don't choose any of these, why did you not choose any of these? And if you have any alternatives, mention those as well. For me personally, I choose Dubai just because in my day-to-day life, I could not afford this kind of like a vacation of this kind. So I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to experience like true luxury, if you will. Um, and also because the reason I didn't choose Cambodia is I feel like when I'm on vacation, I'm not necessarily interested in, I don't know, riding a bicycle and, exerting myself physically. I kind of just like want to chill and relax and all of that. Especially because I'm introverted by nature myself. So this like the luxury hotel makes a lot more sense for someone like me. Okay, awesome. So now that we're done with three, let's move on. Let's take a look at, we're going to be reading one more time here. Okay, I'd like you to focus on the words that are highlighted here. So we have words like go to, ask for, ask about. I'd like you to read before them and after them and try to figure out what is going on. So pause the video and come back. Okay, so what is going on is these are called verb phrases. These are basically verbs and prepositions that are put together, and they are used to connect or talk about a specific thing or a specific action that is happening or is going to be happening at a certain place. For example, each day you go to a local market for your lunch. Go to, pretty self-explanatory. We suggest you ask for, you're asking for the fish of the day. Something like at the end of the day, go for a massage in the hotel's luxury spa. Again, go for a massage. Basically, go and ask for and get a massage. Okay. So actually, let me reset this. Here you go. Verb phrases. Like we said, we have the verbs and prepositions together to give us what is called a verb phrase. These phrases are used above, like we saw, and some common ones that you should probably memorize just to keep them in mind for when you're talking or writing are for, to, about, at, with, and after. For example, we have for a swim, a drive to Egypt, the city center. This will be, we can use the word go and then for. So go for a swim or go for a drive to Egypt or the city center. It works. Dash about the weather slash hotel facilities for a change or wake up call. About will usually use ask before it. So ask about the weather or ask about hotel facilities for a change or wake up call. Dash at home. Stay. Stay at home. Right here as well. I think it's here. Stay at a hotel, at home. Basically, you're staying somewhere. So stay at my house, a hotel with me, or a friend. Dash after. Take care of a pet, children, for try to find a hotel and job. Um, look after. Look after means to take care of someone or something. This is what the word look after means. Not to be confused, sometimes look after is, it literally means to look after someone has been looking, for example. But usually when you say look after someone, you mean to take care of someone or something. Take care of a pet, for example, children, or try to find a hotel or shop. Okay. So these were some of the verb phrases that we've seen. Complete the expressions with the correct prepositions. Okay, so I'm gonna reset this. We have some sentences here, and we're gonna use the correct preposition to finish the expression in each one of them. So let's go over these one by one. We have stay dash a nice hotel. You guys remember when we stay? You stay somewhere, so you stay at a nice hotel. Ask dash help. When you ask help, you're asking for help. Ask for help. Go dash a walk. Go for a walk. Again, for can be used with multiple. Look dash an ill friend. You guys remember the word? We just talked about this. Look after an ill friend. An ill friend means a friend that is sick. So when you look after them, you're taking care of them. Ask dash someone's family. Ask about someone's family. It means you're checking up on them, seeing if they're okay. Stay dash a friend. Stay with a friend. You're staying by their side. You can't say stay at a friend, so don't memorize them as is. It always depends on context, you guys. You have to read the sentence and understand what the sentence means so that you can use the correct preposition with it. I can't stay at a friend. You're not on top of your friend. You stay with a friend, okay? G, look a job. Look for a job. And then go a museum. Go to a museum. You go to a museum. Okay, so that was exercise 2. These were the correct prepositions for the sentences. All right. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna skip these. I'm gonna go to a survey. Listen and complete the answers to a survey about holidays. Okay, so I'm gonna play an audio, and what I would like you to do is listen and fill in the blanks for each one. So it's about 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to play it. I want you to listen along and write down the blanks that are missing as we go. And then we'll check our answers together. Okay, here we go.
Thank you for agreeing to do this survey. There are just 4 questions. So let's start with the first question. How do you travel when you go on holiday?
Well, I usually fly because it's the quickest and the cheapest way to get somewhere.
Great!
And I drive because I like to see different places on the way. The journey is like a holiday too.
Okay.
Me, I go by train because it's better for the environment and it's quiet and peaceful.
Thank you. So let's move on to the next question. Where do you usually stay on holiday?
For me, I stay with a local family. You can learn about their lives and they will get some money.
Okay.
And I stay at a 5-star hotel. It's expensive, but I want to feel comfortable on my holiday.
Well, I stay at the cheapest hotel I can find. Then I can spend my money on more interesting things.
Great answers. Okay. Next question. Where do you normally eat?
I go to the local markets for fresh food and I eat street food. I learn the names of things in the local language.
I find a restaurant where all the local people are eating and I ask the waiter to choose the food for me.
I see.
And I go to a restaurant I know, like McDonald's. It's probably more expensive, but I don't want to get ill.
Brilliant. And last question. How do you find your way around?
I use local guides to tell me everything about the culture, and I learn some words to speak to local people.
I walk around and look at things, but I don't need a guide.
I'm not interested in visiting places or learning about anything. I'm here to have fun and relax. It's a holiday, not school.
Okay, so that was the audio. Let's go over these one by one. Very interesting, by the way. So the first category is travel. How do you travel when you go on holiday? A said, I fly because it's dash way to get somewhere. He said it was the, I don't know if it was a he or she, so I'm just going to say they. So I fly because it's the quickest and cheapest way to get somewhere. B said, I drive because I like to see different places on the way. The journey is like a holiday too. And C said, I go by train because it's better for the environment and it's quiet and peaceful. Dope. For the second category, accommodation, where do you usually stay on holiday? I stay with a local family. You can learn about their lives and they will get some money. I stay at a 5-star hotel. Talk about bougie. It's expensive, but I dash on my holiday. I want to feel comfortable on my holiday. C said, I stay at the cheapest hotel I can find, then I can spend my money on more interesting things. Cool. Third category, food. Where do you normally eat? A said, I go to the local markets for fresh food and I eat street food. I learn the names of things in the local language. B said, I find a restaurant where all the local people are eating and I ask the waiter to choose the food for me. And finally, C said, I go to a restaurant I know, like McDonald's. It's probably more expensive, but they said, I don't want to get ill. Very interesting choice. And finally, for the fourth category, we have culture. How do you find your way around? A said, I use local guides to tell me everything about the culture, and I learn some words to speak to local people. B said, I walk around and look at things, but I dash. They said, I actually don't need a guide. And then C, I'm not interested in visiting places or learning about anything. I'm here to have fun and relax. It's a holiday, not school. Fair enough. So these were the different categories, and each one had a different opinion. We've completed these. And I think on that note, this concludes the first part of Unit 4 for A. I hope you guys learned something new. I will see you in the second and third part of this unit.